You're in a meeting. You share an idea, make a recommendation, or explain your point of view. And someone pushes back. Maybe they say, I'm not sure that's the right approach. Nothing dramatic has happened, but your body responds before you've had much time to think about it. Your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, maybe you feel heat rising in your face, and almost instantly your brain starts making meaning. They don't respect my expertise. They're trying to make me look bad. I need to defend myself. I need to shut this down. And within seconds, you have a decision to make. Do you interrupt, get defensive, withdraw, fire back, agree just to make the discomfort stop? Or can you create enough space to choose your response? I say this all the time. Don't make long-term decisions based on short-term emotions. And that doesn't mean emotions are bad. Far from it. Emotions give us important information. The challenge is that when we're activated, we may not even realize how much that temporary state is shaping what we see, what we believe, and what we decide to do next. Because here's the part most of us were never taught. Every level of the brain can influence a decision to act. The question isn't whether you're making a decision. The question is, which part of the brain is leading when you make it? Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your brain as a building divided into floors. Now, this is simply a teaching analogy, not a literal map of your brain, but it helps us understand something important about how we process experience. In the book, What Happened to You by Dr. Bruce Perry explains that all experience is processed from the bottom up. In other words, information doesn't skip the lower systems and head straight to our most thoughtful brain networks. It travels through the building. And every floor has an important job. At the bottom is the basement. For our analogy, this represents the brainstem, diencephalon, and lower regulatory systems involved in keeping your body functioning, regulated, and ready to respond. These systems can help manage things like arousal, breathing, heart rate, sleep, appetite, energy, and stress responses. When something feels threatening, these systems can mobilize fast. Your heart races, your muscles tighten, your breathing may become shallow, your attention can narrow. You may suddenly feel an urgent need to defend, control, escape, freeze, or act. The basement's question is simple. Am I safe? This floor is brilliant at protection and regulation. It just isn't designed to handle every nuanced long-term decision. Move up one floor and we reach the limbic system. This is where emotion, meaning, memory, motivation, reward, and relationship become especially important. Its question is, what does this mean? This is where an old experience can color a new one. A facial expression can remind us of someone from our past. A tone of voice can trigger a familiar feeling. And sometimes a prediction can begin to feel like a fact. Your emotion is real. Your interpretation may be accurate. But those are not always the same thing. So we ask, what do I know and what am I assuming? Here's an important distinction. There isn't one little alarm room where all threat response lives. Stress and regulatory systems are interconnected. Signals from the body and lower regulatory networks can influence emotion, attention, memory, and higher level thinking throughout the building. So when the alarm rises, the whole building can feel it. That is one reason strong stress can change the way we think and decide. At the top is the executive floor, representing the prefrontal cortex and related executive networks. This is where we become better able to pause, plan, prioritize, take perspective, consider consequences, regulate impulses, hold more than one possibility at a time, and think critically. Dr. Perry also emphasizes something especially useful here. Higher cortical systems help us place experience in time. That's why the clock matters. and why past, present, and future matters. The executive floor helps us ask, is this something that's happening right now in the present? Is it an old experience influencing this moment, something that happened in the past? And what response will best serve what happens next? Its core question is, what response will serve us best? Now, here's where this gets really useful. Our thinking changes with our state. When we're calm and regulated, we have greater access to flexible, reflective, and abstract thinking. As stress increases, our responses can become more emotional, reactive, concrete, and reflexive. Your state is what's happening inside you right now. And repeated states and responses can become patterns over time. But a temporary state does not have to make a permanent decision. So what is the elevator? Nervous system regulation. But regulation does not mean forcing yourself to go upstairs, and it does not mean shutting off the emotion. It means helping the whole body return toward balance. When your body settles, we create more room for perspective, curiosity, connection, and critical thinking. We don't fire the basement. We don't silence the middle floor. We make sure the executive floor gets to participate. That's where pause comes in. P, pause the body. Breathe. Unclench. Slow down. A, acknowledge the alarm. What am I feeling in my body right now? U, unpack the story. What meaning am I making? What am I assuming versus what's fact? S, see the whole building. What else could be true? What information am I missing? E, execute on purpose. What response best serves the outcome I really want? The basement protects, the middle floor interprets, the executive floor puts things in perspective, and regulation helps the whole body work together. Strong emotions are not bad, they're information. But information is not always instruction. Every floor gets a voice. Not every floor should get the final vote. So before your next important decision, ask, which floor is leading? Then regulate your state, question the story, bring critical thinking online, and think even